replacing your pool inside of your deck. Now, what this video is going to help you with is we're not necessarily going to show you exactly how to do this job, but this is a video pertaining to getting yourself prepared so that you can make this job as simple of a process as possible. Putting these pools inside of a deck can sometimes be a challenge. The situation is your deck was cut out for the pool that you have right now, but you're going to buy another pool and it's not going to match up exactly the same. So what we want to do is help you choose the pool that's going to match up in here as easy as possible. Now, there's four main factors that we're dealing with that you want to look for. Number one, the height of the pool wall. You're either going to have a 48, a 52, or a 54-inch pool if it's a fairly recent pool, because they've only had the 54 for a handful of years. Now, a lot of times if you had a 48, you can go back with the 52 and the pool's going to sit up 4 inches higher. And a lot of times that actually makes the job a lot easier with the pool hanging over top of the deck. So what you want to do is measure what size pool you had in there and decide how you want this pool to fit in and go with an accommodating wall height for you. If you really want that 48 and you had a 48, then go with a 48. Or if you're really trying to squeeze it, you want to go with a 52, make it a little bit easier for you. But number one, match up that pool wall height. Number two is going to be the amount of verticals that your pool has. And this is an extremely important one when you're dealing with putting this pool inside of a deck. For instance, in the above ground world, a 24-foot pool is either going to have 16 verticals, 17 verticals, or 18 verticals on it. Now, basically what that means is if you take a 24-foot piece of pie and you cut it up in 18 parts, each part's going to be a little smaller than if you cut that same piece of pie up in 16 parts. And your deck was cut out for the amount of verticals that your existing pool had. So you really want to make sure you go with a pool that's going to have the same amount of verticals. This is probably the number one factor that's going to make this the easiest for you, okay? So choose a pool that's going to have the same amount of verticals as what you had before. Number three is going to be the size of the pool's framework. For instance, this deck was cut out for the pool that you have now. If you had a 3 or 4 inch vertical and you go back with a 10-inch vertical, the outside circumference of that pool is going to be a lot bigger and it's not going to fit in there. So basically what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to choose a framework of pool that's as similar to what you already had. If you had a 3-inch vertical post, then go back with a 3-inch vertical post. If you had a 6-inch top rail, go back with a 6-inch top rail. That's going to incredibly decrease the amount of work you're going to have to do to try to get this pool in here, okay? And what we're trying to do is, keep you from having to tear your deck apart and do a whole bunch of deck work. You can pop a pool out and pop one back in if you follow these factors. And then the last one you really want to look for is going to be your skimmer placement. If you've had a pool in here before, the pool's already been cut out for the skimmer. So when you get this new pool, you're going to want to start the wall where the skimmer is going to go ahead and match up. Okay, now this is what you need to do. You set up the pool wall for the skimmer to match up. Now the return is not necessarily going to be in the same place as it was last time. That all depends on how the manufacturer of this new pool has pre-punched these holes out. And the return may be a little different, but we've noticed over the years that if it's a little to the left or to the right, it's not near as big of a deal as it is trying to get it in there with your skimmer. Okay, your skimmer really is the main thing. Now, keep in mind as well, if you go with a little higher pool, if you had a 48 and you're going with a 52-inch wall height, that skimmer is also going to sit a little higher, okay? The whole purpose of this video is to try to match this pool up for you, so you have to do as minimal work as possible. We've gone out to people's houses and we've put these decks or we've put these pools in these decks, and we haven't had to do anything to the deck, and the deck looked perfect. and we've went out to jobs where you literally had to tear the deck apart, put the pool up, and rebuild the deck. That's what we're trying to keep you from having to do, okay? And if you follow these 4 factors, it's going to be a million times easier for you to get your pool inside this deck.